Welcome in. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I do not expect there to be a lot of people here because it is a holiday in the United States. hmm But we're going to give it a shot. So let me talk to y'all a little bit. The word I heard was that we need to talk about desperation. It's a real conversation to have a desperate situation. Desperate just simply means that it's very volatile. It's very, it can be very damaging, right? So you feel the urgent need to do something. But having that also causes you not to understand what to do in that situation. So you may react or you might start playing back in your mind similar scenarios that cause problems for you, right? So the one I'm talking about today is I wanted us to consider, why do we get ourselves in that emotion of desperation? As if we have no wherewithal, like we have no power. So today I want to remind you that you have power. You have brilliance, you have resources, you have opportunities that are available for you. But when we believe what other people say about us or have said about us or what we have observed and we begin to make it truly ours, it becomes a problem. Welcome in everybody to Spiritually Speaking. I am Dr. Marion, aka Sista E. And today I just, I'm not expecting a big group. I'm just expecting a consistent group. Hey, Lovey. But I really want to talk about that desperation. How we give up on ourselves and we start allowing other people to tell us and dictate. And this happens a lot when we feel a person has something that we don't have because we have forgotten. Hey, love. I'm doing good. That's what happens, right? We start thinking that another person has something that we don't have, when in actuality we have everything they have. We just haven't activated it, or we don't believe that it's possible. So we have to type that in. We have to hold on to that. So today's conversation is about that desperation, the idea of anxiousness and desperation. Understanding when we see things, when we hear things, when we move past these moments, we got to be willing to trust that what we have and who we are is sufficient and more than enough. Yes, some people have greater access, have activated already, but now it's up to you to activate your own. You don't just keep sitting there waiting for people to give you what's already yours. Y'all didn't like how I said that, but I want to tell y'all that. So today when we're doing readings, I want y'all to think about that. Really try to get a more active. Yeah, I could probably be flooded with people if I just answer all kind of frivolous shit and have you feeling foo-foo. Right? So today I want to be able to talk to you a little bit about that. And I just want to give you the things that come in my mind. So go ahead and post your questions for me. I'm only going to be here briefly. So if you know that's what you desire. So I'm going to tell y'all something else too about desperation. Desperation will have you accepting things that are so beneath you that by the time you realize you are accepting it is the time when you find yourself like, what the heck is going on here? Right? You so deep inside of it. You be so deep. It'll be so deep inside of you and you won't even understand what's happening because you've been confused and you're being conditioned in a way that doesn't make sense, right? Welcome in. You got a little bit of a you're a perfect person when I'm talking about this situation right here, because it really is important for you to stop focusing on what's around you and what usually happens and what you perceive. Your perceptions become your framework for your reality. So when you start talking about my career, you've already chosen a career, but what you want is more advancement, more opportunities, even in a bigger playing field. But they're telling me to tell you that you are your biggest enemy when it comes to this movement. It's like you self-sabotage yourself, even if it's just mentally, you are psyching yourself out of this advancement in this career, because it seems like you should have moved already into a newer position, a new position. Yeah, it seems like you should have done that, because I'm seeing conversations happening. So whether this is you not presenting your case for your advancement in the way that you should so you can get that promotion, because there's nothing outside of you that's preventing you. Nothing outside of you is preventing you from having this opportunity, except for your disbelief or your lack of belief. Yeah, that's what I got for you. So the career, and okay, and I just heard, okay, in July you might have an opportunity that's coming your way too. Really listen to what they're saying and how they're saying it, because I'm hearing conversations. There is talk and buzz about you that they also feel you should be advancing and moving forward. So you're not, this is not a willy-nilly thing. Yeah. So you'll be able to go from there. Welcome in, everybody. This is Spiritually Speaking. I am Sister Afua. This is going to be a quick conversation. We usually meet up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on our pages here in Spiritually Speaking with Sister Afua, as well as on Sister Afua page. Our whole company is called the Spiritual Soul Spot. We provide spiritual consultants. We provide spiritual guidance. We provide your knowledge base to support you in becoming more of a master of yourself, to become your own spiritual guru. Absolutely. You are your own spiritual guru. Absolutely. You are gifted as well. We are just providing you with some opportunities to allow you to improve that. All right. If you're watching, tell 5 friends, 5 frenemies, let them know that we're here, and 5 people that you love, and let them know. I know today's a holiday in the United States, but I know that this is another issue that we are coming across. We just want to have a good conversation, a little time. I won't be here very long, but I am answering questions. You are welcome. I am answering questions right now if you want to post your question. So again, this whole idea of being desperate, right? Desperation means that when you get desperate, you're panicky. You may seem calm, but emotionally and physically, your body is feeling like you're in a panic or survival mode. So then you start making mistakes. You start hearing things in your head. You create scenarios that don't even exist. And then you're forced to make a decision with not enough resources and or chances to see all the options fully, right? So this is what we're talking about today, about this desperation. Desperation should be minimal, right? I'm desperately seeking, what's that movie? Not that movie title, Desperately Seeking Susan. That person was in pursuit of a person that they thought they could have. When you want to have what you desire, you need to take on the reality and the willingness that tells you that this is what you want. If you don't want it, don't bring it up. Even if you don't want it, it may be what's needed. Oh, I don't want to move. I don't want to leave my job. I've been here for 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. I like my job. But it may be time for you to move from that space so that you can fully embrace what it is you have to do. So when people say, oh, they told me I'm going to leave my job. I don't want to leave my job. So now you're going to fight against the timeline. Right? We can shift some things. If we see something on our timeline, yes, you can adjust. You can try to, better prepare for it, all of that. But if the move is on your timeline, if you're supposed to move that job to get to a new job, to be able to be more secure, more happy, be able to serve more people, then you're going to have to do it. That's what the faith of it is. It's like, what's the point of getting all this support, all this guidance, all this insight if we're not going to utilize it and leverage it to really enhance our lives? One of the problems that people had traditionally in traditional religions, right, or modernized religions, is that they have a problem with people who are seers, people who are prophets, people that are tarot card readers, because they're saying that you're seeing into the future. You shouldn't do that, right? But the reality is that for thousands and thousands of years, people have always consulted. People who knew more about nature, who knew more about the spiritual gifts, who knew more about herbs, they've always consulted. So why now is it a problem? It's a problem because they know that once you have that consult, if you use it properly, your life can change. Your life can change. Marie LaRue down in Louisiana, they talked about how powerful she was, that she could literally come into a courtroom and it would shift the whole atmosphere. So these are the type of things, as I asked today on my podcast, when I was doing my podcast today, I asked the question, why do you want your spiritual gifts to show up? Why do you want your spiritual gifts to show up? Why do you want to activate and release more of your spiritual gifts? If it's based in ego because you want somebody to accept you, or you perceive it as power, or if you perceive it as that it's going to give you a position and power and people are going to have to do this and they're going to be, then that's an ego-based position. But if you want to take on and activate your gifts, if you want to become forward and be able to have a full relationship with nature and earth and its creations, if you really want to begin to dive into more and more of your realities, not the one that was created for you and that you just accepted, but the true reality, then you can access that. You have it. But you can't, to do it just because you want somebody to do it doesn't mean anything, because power is only power if the people you show it to believe you have power. Hey, love, how are you? I don't see anything specific. Like I said, I just see that this home is a like a standalone home again, and has a yard on it, and it looks like it's like a tan color, beige tan color. They're on Apple. Is it Apple Podcast? I don't forgot what it's called. I gotta look back at the name of it. iPad something, Apple Podcast or something. But it's on there. It's also available on 4 or 5 different things. I have to get the names of all the places, but definitely it's on the Apple iPods. I'm also on Clubhouse as well. The replays and stuff come out on there. Thank you for asking, shit. How you been? Can I please have one of my one-on-one, my spiritual development? Okay, you want to do a one-on-one session with me about your spiritual development? Is that what you're asking? Hey, love. Is that what you're asking me? Can you have a one-to-one session on your spiritual development? Are you asking me a question about your spiritual development? What are you asking me? I need you to get more specific, right? Take your time. It's all right. Take your time and proof it, because I can't support you if I don't understand it. Yeah, so we are here today, as I said, really looking at where we are. Like this, again, people are forgetting we're in the middle of the year, right? It's starting to get warm. We're starting to get warm. And so people are forgetting that we're still in the age of Aquarius. This is still an 8 year. This is about manifestation. This is about clearing away. This is about putting everything on the table, things being more transparent. You having to make choices that are very difficult. You having to choose something that you're not used to, and let go of something you may be used to, right? These are the type of things that are happening in this 8 year. These are the type of conversations that are going to force you to question whether or not what you believe is actually what you need to believe, to understand the whole power behind right? The whole power behind you as you that you're going to share out everywhere you go. I also talked about today, sometimes I can tell when I'm off, when I'm too far off of my normal regiment. I can tell because things start being affected in my environment. Things start being affected around the people that I'm with. So I have to go back, revamp, because it is a lifestyle change. I think you're asking me, now that I see your other comment, I think you're asking me, what is my perspective on spiritual development? And I think I kind of continued and talked about that. Your spiritual development requires a lifestyle change. Doesn't mean you go off into the woods and live and eat berries all day. What it means is that some things are not going to be allowed because they're going to take up space and time that you can't afford to be dealing with. Hey, gorgeous. So when you're focusing on your spiritual development, what you're doing is you're saying what's happening externally is not more important than what's happening internally and what I'm receiving. You're going to tap back in to this energy. So as I was saying, I noticed for myself, I know that I have to do certain things in order to keep my energy and my flow up. So when I get off my schedule and I stay off my schedule for more than like a day, I know that things are going to start going wrong, specifically with the water. Things are going to go wrong with my money. Things are going to go wrong with communication, which are not my issues. But when I'm out of alignment, when I am not being focused, when I'm distracted by things that are not my monkey, not my show, not my business, that's when that happens. So if you are finding yourself, she says, I'm feeling off a bit lately with my intuition. So I'm wondering, our intuition is directly connected to our gut. That's why we go here. Something in my gut told me, because your gut is like a brain. It's our second brain. When you get scared, you get butterflies. When you get happy, you get tingles, right? So all of that brain, that's that abdominal area, the gut, the intestines, you get nervous, you got to go to the bathroom, all that stuff. That's to let you know the true life that exists. So your intuition is right there, along with your divinity. So I believe that is there, along with your coccyx. That's a whole other conversation. Y'all need to join my academy. Let me stop right here. Y'all should join the academy. It's $299 for the entire year. We do classes. It gives you a prorated rate for the retreat that we do every year. You can even have a one-to-one retreat with me, and it's still a great price. And you just need to provide yourself the opportunity to learn these things in depth, not in pressure moments. Right? But it is a lifestyle change. If your gut, if your intuition is off, I'm not even sure what that means, right? I've been feeling off, especially with my intuition. So that means if you're feeling off, or you're getting cross signals, or you're not understanding what your intuition is giving you, beloved, then at that point, you need to shut everything down to get back in sync with your intuition, because that's our survival mode. Our intuition is our fight or flight. And when it's done well, you're able to perceive things before it occurs. You're able to interact and feel, see, hear things. The gifts are going to come forward when you really fight and feel into your intuition. So get quiet, take some time out for yourself. I'm also feeling like you got a lot of, like my shoulders feel very heavy with you. And yeah, this is kind of like a little mini reading for you. But yeah, my shoulders feel very heavy. And I feel like my head is spinning. So that means you're trying to make decisions for stuff that ain't well, yes, it is, because no, it's not your matter. How does it really, at the end of the day, if you do nothing about all that crap you carrying around, what will change in your life if you do nothing? What will change in their lives if you do nothing? If they're going to be uncomfortable and it evokes change for the better, brings a greater level of awareness, accountability, responsibility, maturity, then it's for the greater good. Y'all listening to Spiritually Speaking. I am Sister Four. Yep, it is a holiday here in the U.S. and it is the middle of the day here in the U.S. on a holiday. But we're going to take some time out just to recenter ourselves, to reclaim our spaces, to understand. I've spoken about desperation, right? When we're desperate, how we just make these mistakes. I'm also talking about the fact that when you are trying to activate and practice and put it into daily practice, right? You're doing it until you get it exactly, it becomes like flawless. That's when you have made a lifestyle change. And that's when you're walking in harmony, living in harmony, right? I don't say balance because I realize harmony allows multiple perspectives, multiple voices to be heard simultaneously, singing the same song in different pitches, and yet it's okay. But when we say balance, we got to try to figure out what can we take in, what can we take off. Even in harmony, there are times when one group is a little softer than the other, when some notes are more accented than others. So that's how our lives are. That's how our lives is. Okay. That's what we're talking about here today. Do you see what direction I will be looking for a school for my daughter? She goes to the school I work at, but it's not also walking out. What I heard right away as I was reading about the school, it says you only want to change schools because you're uncomfortable. I know you feel like there's stuff going on at the school that you don't care for, but they're telling me that it's only happening because of your uncomfortability to relinquish the, I got to say the word that I heard. It was control, right? Finding her a school is not going to be difficult. There seems to be a couple of options, but it also brought up something about your travel. So I saw you in a car and like trying to hustle and bustle back. So make sure you don't go too far away from you are. But she could very much stay at that school. You just need to relax a little bit and allow her to be a student in that school. Allow her to be a student and you be a parent when you're not an employee doing your job. You get what I'm saying? Trust the process. All right. Is there anything else you feel we should be working on? Actually, you feel quite good. I mean, I don't feel like there's anything bothering you. It seems like you had a little bit of anxiousness around some stuff, but you're going to be fine. I'm going to say this. In a relationship, there is communication. And communication is not just what you doing, how you doing, why you doing that, why you doing that. Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? Like, that's about tasks. Like, y'all need to really start talking to each other again like y'all dating. Even to the point, like, make him come and pick you up for a date. Okay? Yeah, y'all spend time on a real date. No phones, no talking about children, grandchildren, bills, debts, plans. Only talk about each other. Oh, I miss talking to you about this. You know, this happened, or this funny, or this, like, really go on a date and communicate so y'all can get an increased level of understanding. And that vulnerability can be present. Hey, Max. I understand. Remember, I said it's more you. She's digressing with her schoolwork because what? Because when I look at it, it just said that you have a bigger problem, which makes sense. If they ain't paying you, hell yeah, you got a problem. Yeah, you got a problem with that environment. Yeah. But as far as her personally, she would be okay. She could survive. But it also told me you're gonna find her a school no matter what. But it's saying something about traffic, high traffic, a lot of traffic. Something about your schedule and traffic. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I got for you, my love. Selena. The education component is not there, but just be mindful how you are presenting the fact that, yeah, it's a big problem because you ain't getting paid. Okay. Okay, it was an innocent question, but the challenge that I'm faced with is when they said that, when I first they said she was an innocent question. It was an innocent question. But then I'm also hearing that you kind of felt uncomfortable because you know there's an issue, but there really isn't. Y'all remember I told y'all perceptions become your reality. What you believe, what you perceive, you believe, and what you believe, you start saying and acting like. But it's not. It was no harm, no maliceness, Max. You're welcome, my love. Okay, y'all. It is now how long? I got 4 more minutes. Then I'm going to be logging off. Thank you for being here with me. Reminding everybody we're going to be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I may come back on a little later when everybody's kind of chill after they get done. Because like it's 2, so it's 4. So maybe I'll come back in a couple of hours and see who all is here and who's one that gets everything done. Reminder, you can always have a private personal reading by joining me at the Spiritual Soul Spa on linktree/spiritual soul spa. You can go ahead and get your questions and get your private reading. You can also book your own personal private sabbatical retreat with me for 4 days and 3 nights here in Arizona. And you get an opportunity to spend some time with me, work on yourself personally, and keep things going the way they're supposed to go. Absolutely, positively, so it is. And then I also want to invite you, if you are a man, you can join us in August for the Melanated Male Conference. That is a retreat we're going to be doing here in Arizona as well for men. A good way for you to come and collaborate, work on some things, focus on the man, the young man, the old man, the middle-aged man inside of you in order to have better family relationships, better communication with yourself, healing from old wounds, trauma wounds, accessing some ancient wisdoms. Just have a good time, all up in the mountains. All right. Very, very modern facilities. All of our facilities are modern facilities. They're built houses that are modern with all the amenities that you need. They're beautiful. They're in pristine, beautiful nature. Come and join us in the month of August. All right. Let's move on. Okay, you're in Kenya, so y'all missing out. Hey, great day, brother John. Good to hear from you again. Definitely will do that. Definitely will do that. I know it's very difficult over there right now. It's getting a little tight again because of the election stuff and all the other things that are going on, but it will pick back up. And see, this is what I'm talking about. So listen, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? So this is why on my other podcast last week, I talked about we are always trying to be so much in social service. We should be taking care of our own. We should have our children that cannot stay with their parents. We should be raising them in orphanages. We should be raising them, but not in the capacity that they got to beg for stuff. Like the community should be rallying around. And when these missionaries start coming to the town trying to proselytize us and tell us to become Christians, they need to be anteing up some money, but not have no control. If you really show me the Christian way by giving us money to maintain programs and housing and education in a quality way without you trying to push your religion on us. And that goes for anybody, any religion, right? I feel that when you come into a community that's already trying to have food, water, shelter, and safety, you do not have time to come and get them distracted with trying to have the next level, which is self-actualization and realizing where you are in awareness to everything in the universe. When you haven't even secured your safety, your beinghood. So John, definitely anybody that wants to connect, I'll let you this time drop it in here. But you know how I am. I just don't believe in like people just because it's only going to be a quick fix. And I know they may offend some people when I say that, but we don't need more missionaries in Africa. We don't need more people coming to show people, to create farms and then take all the resources and resell it back to people in Africa for the money. We don't need people going to the university in Africa to get degrees in English. No other country has people getting degrees in English because they know it doesn't make sense. Unless you're getting a comparable English degree that allows you to teach English, talk about literature, that you can write, people how to write, teach people how to write. If you're not doing that, and that's really going to put you only at the high school level, sometime in the college level, yes. But we need there to be more emphasis, more activation. And this is why I'm talking about spiritually speaking. Spirituality is a part of your life. If you are doing religious rituals, if whatever you're doing it because you believe it connects you to something spiritually, because you can't make a physical connection. That's what we're talking about here today. I know it's the holiday, but y'all will come back and see this. This is very much a scripted conversation, not written by me, but written by the solutions that's inside of me. John, I don't know why I feel like you should have got a check or something. You should have got some money from somebody. Somebody came by to visit your orphanage and promised you some money. That money is coming if you haven't gotten it already. And when people give you money, they don't get rights to your facility to take it over and start doing what they want to do. You will keep your program intact. They will learn their language. They will learn about global things. They will learn about how to read and write. They will learn how to take care of their bodies. They will learn more than just the typical. Everybody want to activate their spiritual gifts, but nobody wants to go through the process and make it a daily lifestyle, a daily practice. Everybody wants to go into conversations about, what's going to happen in the future, but you can't even secure yourself in the present in order to allow the future to come. Because we got choices to make. Opportunities are here. They doubling down. And we up here talking about things that's in the past. We should be focusing on what's in the present. So anyway, my time is up here today. Thank you for joining me here on Spiritually Speaking. I'll be back here on Wednesday, same time, same place. And I'll see you then. Take care.